Okay, imagine your two favorite topics in the entire world you love to talk about are having a baby. This is what this video is for me. Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is AK, I'm from Germany, and here on this channel I do everything related to the Eurovision Song Contest. For example, reactions, some fun little YouTube short games, or showing my non-ESC friends what the ESC is. But besides being a professional Eurovision fan, I actually have a real job and a real life, and I am a graphic designer. So for this video I decided to combine my two favorite passions, and the result is that I came up with the branding for the Eurovision Song Contest 2026 in Austria, aka my unofficial application for the Austrian broadcaster ORF. Okay, let's go. As I said in my 2025 branding video, I will link it here somewhere. If you're someone who is not that super invested into graphic design and branding, which is totally okay and fine, you might think, well, just use some nice colors and that's it. How hard can it be? And this is exactly the moment where I get excited the most. And I think it does matter. It really does matter. It's not just some nice colors and some random shapes. It has to make sense. It needs to tell a story. And in case of Eurovision, the design is not about just looking good. It's really about two important things in my opinion. Number one, it creates emotional connection. As we as the fan community know, it's not just about the music. It's a cultural phenomenon with millions of passionate fans from all over Europe and even all over the world. So a strong branding actually helps to express the core message of the Eurovision, which is united by music. From visuals to tone of voice, everything is part of the branding, and it helps to to build the emotional resonance and a shared identity. And this is what makes us fans and even the artists and the whole production team to be part of something bigger than the actual show. And number two, my favorite, as a graphic designer, it provides strategic clarity. What does it mean? It means that the Eurovision Song Contest needs to be recognizable in the first second on every touch point. So a touch point, for example, is the YouTube videos you see from the final show, the Instagram feeds, everything from the official Eurovision Song Contest channels. So from little signs in the city saying here's the next restroom, to press packages, to Instagram feeds, to sounds, everything is branded, and each individual year has a little bit of a different branding, but is always saying the same message, united by music. Wanna see some examples? Merchandise, buttons, and some lanyards. This is not a VIP ticket, this is just some card. So in short, a good branding doesn't just make things look nice, it makes things make sense. Every year it shifts the directions a little bit. In 2024 we had the Northern Light themes in Malmö, and this year we saw glowing hearts across all over Basel in Switzerland. Okay, before I start to design on a blank canvas, I always ask myself, what is the story I want to tell? I usually begin by looking into the host country's DNA, and this is very interesting this year because we are in an alpine country in Central Europe full of lush green landscapes and classical architecture. A country whose flag is red and white, same as 2025. So here's the first challenge, making sure the branding didn't get confused with Switzerland in 2025, because the countries from its DNA are very similar. They're not the same, of course not, but you can see similarities. Yeah, right? I also looked back into Austria's previous Eurovision years. There was the 1967 Eurovision Song Contest in the Wiener Hofburg, the Hofburg's Grand Festive Hall of Vienna, which didn't have a lot of branding in today's sense, but it features a beautiful lowercase typeface with a tight spacing, almost like music notes. Really like it. Very elegant. And then we had 10 years ago, the 2015 Eurovision Song Contest in the Wiener Stadthalle. It was the building bridges theme with those glowing orbs and that grid structure. I'll have to admit, I didn't remember it clearly first. Once I looked into it again, I was like, 2015, which design we've had. I remembered Conchita hosting and Mont Saint-Malo winning, but I couldn't really remember the design back then. But when I looked into it, I was like, wait a second. Let's just say inspiration travels, right? Before I even open up the design file and choose some nice colors, I kept coming back to that one quote from the winning song from JJ from Wasted Love, and it's the first sentence. I'm an ocean of love. And I mean, hands down, the line, "I'm an ocean of love," what a beautiful sentence and a beautiful meaning behind it. And that line I used as the main idea and the main story of what's to come next. I imagined that ocean not just as a metaphor, I used it visually. And what if that ocean is flooded across Austria? What if that love for music, sounds, and that Eurovision energy literally rippled across the landscape of Austria and the whole city? Imagine! So I came up with these shapes of a wave. They appear in almost every visual, soft layered and sometimes a little bit grainy, giving it a little bit of a retro style. And they not just only represent music waves, beats and emotion, but what does a wave do? They create a connection. They are flowing through posters, billboards, screens, echoing the heartbeat of Eurovision, and they tie directly into the motto "United by Music." To bring these waves to life, I built a color system based on contrast. Each asset combines a bright, high energy color with a more deeper and grounded tone. Because I really wanted the branding to be colorful and energetic, but not too colorful or chaotic, if you know what I mean. Each combination of colors and elements is always balanced, like Austria itself. No, but really I try to incorporate the Austrian identity of being a very traditional country with a lot of rich history, like actually in terms of music and classical music, but also being very modern at the same time. For example, a vibrant green meets a dark forest green, and some electric blue meets a rich purple. And yes, as you notice, I made the conscious decision to include white as a design element. Not just because it's part of the Austrian flag, but also because white creates space. And I personally am a big fan of space in branding. I don't like it when it's crowded and when there's too much going on. I think when we have a contest like the Eurovision Song Contest where everything is loud and colorful and beautiful, I think it's very... I really want to say brave and needed to create a little bit of space into the branding. Here and there you might see some white space in my brandings. Big fan of that. And I think it also communicates a little bit more of sophistication, and I think it really fits Austria, that sophisticated style. And I mean, it's our 70th anniversary of the ESC and we are 70. So all in all, the bright tones bring energy and movement to the branding, and the deeper tones add elegance, legacy and balance to the branding. And together they create a branding system that really feels alive, meaningful, and it feels like a celebration because it is one. Just like with the color system, I wanted the typography to build on contrast and balance. That's why I chose two typefaces that complement each other, one serif and one sans serif. The serif font brings elegance, expression, and that kind of timelessness. I think it feels very emotional and human actually, and it's perfect to use in moments when the message needs a little bit more weight and a poetic impact. The sans serif font, on the other hand, is very bold and clean and modern. It adds clarity, structure, and works really well for information, captions, and smaller text. And just like the color pairings, these typefaces I choose because they're not here to compete with each other. They're here to work in harmony. And I think same as the colors, everything works really well for digital and physical formats. So now that we have talked about the story, the colors, the elements, the fonts, let's see how everything comes to life. Because this is the moment where graphic design really gets exciting and you can test your branding on some mock-ups. Let's start in the urban space. Each visual is designed to be energetic and to pull you into a world of rhythm, color and connection, so that you have the feeling that United by Music is always present. Sometimes clearly and bold, sometimes a little bit more in the background, but always flowing and colorful. And then I had the idea to create some posters featuring iconic Eurovision lyrics. Nostalgic, emotional, a little bit poetic. And that's also where we can add a little sub-logo I developed, a tribute to 70 years of Eurovision Song Contest. And I think that on screen the design truly shines because you can add also some movements. And of course, every Eurovision fan loves merch. tote bags, shirts, pins, all designed to feel like something you'd actually wear or use even after the contest. Because, it's actually a little bit cheesy, the upcoming sentence, because good branding doesn't just promote, it becomes part of your identity. But in my opinion, it truly does an even better job when it's genuinely promotes good values, a true identity. Something like the Eurovision Song Contest. Closing thoughts. So that was my take on how the branding of the Eurovision Song Contest 2026 in Austria could look like. I really had so much fun working on this video. It's a lot of work, but at the same time, I mean, being a Eurovision fan and a graphic designer and to explore the identity of a country, how hard can it be? I mean, it was more fun than work, and I hope that in the end you've maybe learned a little bit and you enjoyed this video. But I mean, hey, ORF, if you need a designer, my DMs are open for you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I can't wait for the next Eurovision year. It's my 3rd year doing this on YouTube. I hope to see you very soon. Tschüss.